Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the woods. Say hello, Frankie. Well, last night was the coldest night of the season so far. Temps dropped to 27. Ice on the buckets out here this morning. Winter is on its way. Yeah. I know that when we get that first big snowstorm settling in, that's when it's going to get real, folks. That's when the adventure begins. I've got 2 different videos in the works right now. I've got another episode of Backwoods Logic that I think you'll enjoy. And I've got a couple other things going on. I still have to do a little bit more filming and editing. I was hoping to have one out last weekend, but I just couldn't get there. Every video takes approximately 30 hours or so to edit and piece together. But I got to stay true to myself, make them the best that I can, make them all enjoyable. I don't want to cut quality to put out quantity. I don't want to do that. Yeah. So for right now, I wanted to put out another vlog, answer some more questions. There's been a lot of questions that have come in, bring you up to speed on a few things, and share some thoughts about this adventure that we have embarked upon. It's been pretty trying at times, and I want to share my thoughts on that because there is a lot of YouTubers that write to me that suffer from frustrations with not moving forward with their dream quick enough, and I can relate. So I want to share my insights on that subject. Now, ever since I sold the homestead and moved up here, a lot of people have asked me how on earth we could ever leave such a beautiful place. We had it made there, and then we come up here and we work our butts off with this project. From the outside looking in, yes, it looked like we had it made there. We did in some regard. It was a beautiful place. It was all paid for. We had the best gardens I've ever had in my life. We had a lifetime supply of firewood. The hunting was great. I had my own beaver pond. Yeah, it was really, really cool in that regard. But I don't live my life from the outside looking in. I pay a lot of attention from what's inside, looking out, looking forward. I'm glad I moved to New York, set up that homestead. It fulfilled a lot of dreams that I might not have ever been able to achieve here in New Hampshire because New Hampshire real estate is very, very expensive. When I went there, I was able to buy up a bunch of real estate and I pieced together that dream, and it was good. But it wasn't perfect. Not that I really need perfection, but anybody who has known me throughout my lifetime knows that I pay a lot of attention to my contentment. My contentment is the most important thing to me. When I am discontented, I just feel like an empty soul. I feel like how it must feel for a person who just lives their life doing what the world is expected of them, like what they are told they are supposed to do, like my parents and my friends' parents and my teachers and all of my elders when I was growing up was telling me that I should do with my life, how I should grow up to be. I followed my own path, and I'm very, very glad that I did. So that is what we are doing here. Let me try to explain that. In the 14 years that my girlfriend and I have been together, we would come up here and go hike around or snowshoeing, and we always said, wouldn't it be cool to spend a winter up here? Here it is, I'm turning 55 this year. I don't want to look back on my life and find out that I missed my chance and go, why the heck didn't you go and spend a winter up there? I want to do it before I lose the interest or the ability in doing so. New York was good. We had a nice life at the homestead there, but I never found contentment in all of that time. And one of the reasons was we were above the Adirondacks, up in the flat farm country right on the Canada border. And sound would travel far and wide. And even when I owned close to 300 acres, there were some days there wasn't a quiet place on it. I'd be up in my tree stand during the bow season. I can hear 4 or 5 lawnmowers going, dogs barking, vehicles, all kinds of noise, sirens. It would undermine all of the tranquility that I was seeking out and never found. But yet, we would come up here, and the second we get out of the vehicle, my ears would ring from the silence. And every time I was here, my internal compass was spot on. All of my plugs were firing in line, so to speak. My intuition was telling me I am home. This is where I always felt grounded. This is where I belonged. So I'm not going to fight it any longer. I'm not going to try and find contentment there anymore. I love my little cabin. I'll probably keep the cabin for a while. We will indeed bounce back and forth and enjoy the best of both worlds because there is some cool stuff up there. But this is where I want to live. We're not really ready for winter right now, and if we find maybe in February, it's like, well, let's just wrap up the project and pick it back up in the spring, then maybe we will do that. Who knows? We're going to take it one day at a time, have a beautiful cabin to go back to and finish out the winter, and that'd be great. You have to listen to your intuition. Your intuition is your internal voice. You have to follow your heart. If you don't follow your heart, all you do is follow everyone else. Sometimes when I want to burn brush, I don't always want to have a great big bonfire. Found it works really good. Just take a pair of loppers, nip it up into small pieces. It's a lot easier to light that way and have a fire that I can keep under control. Then all the larger pieces like this, I just take in the house and I throw them in the wood stove. I've been using these loppers a long time. This is the Fiskars brand. I'll put a link in the description below. I put fluorescent tape on them. Very easy to lay these down and forget about them. This way I don't lose them. Works out good, and I've had these over a decade, I guess. It's been a long time. Pretty cold today, so I figured I'd get a little fire going, burn up a little bit more on my brush pile, finish this conversation. You're getting me all muddy, mister. You're getting me all muddy. Okay, good boy. When people ask me how I deal with discouragement and setbacks and how do I stay so positive and keep moving forward and chasing my dream when I'm having all of these setbacks. Well, trust me, it's taken a lifetime of setbacks to learn how to overcome them. And the key ingredient is gratitude. Now that might sound really strange because we're talking about discouragement, so what is there to be grateful for? But trust me, everything in life is chalked up to your mindset, and we all have the ability to change our mindset. And when things are getting you down, like for instance, sometimes my medical issues are kicking my butt, and if I dwell on them, they can keep me down. So I have to change my mindset and just be thankful and grateful for all of the things that I do have, all of the things that I can do, rather than what I can't do at that present moment, and it changes my world, and I can carry on. Several years ago, someone I know lost her husband, and of course I felt really bad for her. Losing a loved one, spouse, family member, even a really good dog is gut-wrenching. And in one of our conversations shortly after the funeral, she looked me in the eye and she said, "I am just very grateful for all of the years that I had with him." It was a real eye-opener for me in regards to simple gratitude. Because here, she lost her husband, and you could tell she was hurting really bad, but yet she still was able to muster up some gratitude for all of the years that she had him in her life. A real eye-opener. So when things are getting you down, look on the bright side, find something to be grateful for, and push the complaining aside. Life is what you make of it, so make the best of it. And simple mindset is what it takes. So all of you guys that have been writing to me, getting a little discouragement with your dream quest, just keep your eye on the prize. Keep pushing forward. If you can visualize it, you can make it materialize. So all the best to you all, and God bless.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go, there's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss.